All right, a lot of good tours coming this fall, not least of which Saliva and Drowning Pool are doing a co-headlining tour. It's called the Snafu Tour. Special guests Adelita's Way and Any Given Sin. If you're not familiar with them, they're all pretty good. It's going to happen around the corner here at the House of Blues. It is 1 week from tonight, the 27th. You go to WMMS.com. We got a whole VIP thing there for you. You can win tickets, get the meet and greet with Saliva, a bunch of autographed merch. So that's a big prize, WMMS.com. I will get you into the show, you and a pal, a couple of tickets for Saliva and Drowning Pool next Wednesday night, livenation.com for anything I might have left out. So caller 10, good luck. These are yours. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
And the winner of Scene Magazine's Best of Cleveland Best Sports Talker is Cody Brown. Poundcake.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Cleveland. This really means a lot to me. And I want to thank the sports for the sports and the balls. All those balls. Thank you, balls. Wait. I want to thank the hats. What are those football hats called?
Thank you, Cody. And the Alan Cox Show won some kind of something, too. Way to go.
All those football hats. Those are... So we're going to be getting you the premier award-winning Poundcake Sports Break here in about 5 minutes. Speaking of tours, when I got my email from the Agora telling me about the tickets for the Bill Squire Holiday Spectacular, also said that Static X and Seven Dust are coming back to Cleveland, and I cannot wait.
Hey.
That is February 22, and those are going to go on sale Friday morning at 10. I'm sure I will have tickets for you to win at some point, but Static X and Seven Dust, come on. Take my money now. Very exciting. What do I have for you next week? Comedian Stavros Halkias is doing
Savvy
Playhouse
Baby.
Square. I think he's going to come on. The Fat Rascal Tour, he's going to do Playhouse Square in a couple of weeks. I'll have more tickets if you want to see Bill Burr down in Canton. His directorial debut film is dropping tomorrow on Netflix. Is it tomorrow or next month? It's called
It's next
Old
month,
Dads.
October 20th. I saw the trailer today.
It's him, Bobby Cannavale, and Bokeem Woodbine. I'll have more Halloween stuff for you next week. Down in Akron, they got that haunted schoolhouse and laboratory. And then tickets next week for the aforementioned Bill Squire at the Agora. So
Pre-sales today. If you want to get them tickets, you don't want to wait to try and win them. You can get a pre-sale code Squire at agoracleveland.com. And then tomorrow, it's fall. And then Friday, they go on sale, and you can use code WMMS23. Get $5 off. You get $5 off with those other two codes, too. Codes get you $5 off.
or you can try to win them next week. Either way. This says, with special guest Mary Santora.
Hey!
Just voted Cleveland's favorite female comedian.
You know what special means, right?
I know what it means. I know what it means.
The Mary Santora.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, well, good. Well, that's next week. Looking ahead to that. But that Static X and Seven Dust show, boy, that can't wait for that. Really jumped out at me. And I'd be lying to you if I told you that I wasn't just pleased as punch.
Hey, the other day, Mary mentioned getting a screw in her tire, and Brian gave her a hard time because she called it a tire well. Well, I mean, it is called a wheel well, so you really weren't that far off.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he didn't correct you with the proper name, so I think you were probably closer than whatever he was imagining it was called.
Well, no, he knew it was a wheel well.
He thought it was a
Yeah, but he
tire
gave you a hard time for calling it a tire well.
Yes, he did.
Which I thought was strange.
Yeah,
I mean, again, it's not something that you hear frequently, but I didn't think you were off base there.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Did you have angry makeup sex over it?
No, but we had great sex on Monday.
When you got back into town?
Yeah, we had been we spent most of the day sexting on Sunday. And
Every time you
so-
come back from the road, I imagine there's a part of him that needs to put on a show because you've been gone, you've been performing, you're already like in a froth and hopped up, still in your performance glow.
Yes.
And he's like, okay, she's back.
Keep her home.
I got to, well, he's not going to keep you home,
No,
but
I
he's
know.
got to remind you why, when
You
you're
come
out.
home.
Right. Because he knows, hey, when she's out there, she's living her dream.
Yeah.
When she's here,
Live, laugh, love.
she's home.
Right.
And those are two different things.
They are two different things.
And he's got to put on a show because he doesn't know when the last performance is going to be. Like, it's very rare, especially when you're cohabiting. That complicates things. But when you think about it, you never know the last time you're going to have sex with somebody.
Well, I feel like there's usually indicators.
Indicators, but here's what I'm saying. Like, unless you have a severance pop with somebody,
Right.
you're breaking up. I've had a couple of those over the years, right? You have a severance pop with somebody, you're breaking up. Normally, under those circumstances, it's amicable or it's sad. For me, a lot of times, it was because I was moving to another city to do radio. And so I was leaving someone behind. But there are indicators, yes. But you don't know the last, you in retrospect, you go, wow, that was the last time we had sex.
Yeah.
And so every time you come home, Brian's thinking, this might be the last time we have sex. Every time
I
she
don't think
goes,
that's what he's thinking.
I don't think he's thinking that.
why don't you think that? Every time you go out on the road, conceivably, right? Because your career goal is to blow up,
Yeah.
to go supernova.
Well,
and so
I
in
don't-
his mind, he goes, every time she goes out there, conceivably, there's a chance that will happen. If somebody was like, met you on the road and they were like, you got to go on tour with me, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
You'd be calling Brian going, I'm not home for 6 months.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know when the last time is going to be. Now, 6 months, obviously, you ain't going to live through that. So you're going to come back, pack your crap, whatever. And he's going to go, hey, how about one last time?
We would live through 6 months.
No, you wouldn't.
I think we would. Anyway, it was great.
Well, it takes two of you to live through 6 months.
I think we would be okay.
Really?
He's
Yeah.
gone a long time, right?
Yeah, when we first started dating, he went I was a year and a half without anything. Hadn't hooked up in a year and a half. So he's got
No,
he's got willpower.
That's different. That's different.
How is it different?
That was just his dry spell before you.
Right.
He
so
could
if
have-
we were together and I'm on the road for 6 straight months,
It's not just about that, though.
what's it about?
Well, it's about maybe just not wanting to do that.
I mean, that's true too. Yeah, you're right.
I'm not
he
saying
very well could
I'm
say
not-
that's I don't want anything to do
Yeah,
with that.
I'm not saying either one of you couldn't do it. I
Yeah.
mean, some people have had. Look at Doogie.
Yeah.
This poor girl
10
hasn't gotten
years?
laid in like a dozen years or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no secret, but holy cow.
That'd be tough.
Well, after a while, it's by design, right? It's not like
Mhm.
accidental. But plenty of people like to layer the pipe. But it's like, after a while, you're like, eh. I was talking to somebody who is a friend of mine, is around my age. And she's never been married, but she's attractive, right? Doesn't have kids. And she's like, I don't care. She's like, I'm not doing the apps.
Yeah.
I'm just not. Like, if something falls into my lap, literally, it's like maybe. But otherwise, she's like, I don't care.
Maybe you get to that point where you're like, this isn't even the most important thing to me anymore.
Well, it doesn't have to be the most important thing, but I would hate to get to a point where it wasn't important at all.
Yeah, that
I can't imagine that kind of life. But
people get there.
people do get there.
Yeah, we had a great session on Monday.
Poundcake, are you ready?
Oh, award winning.
Yeah, I am ready.
How you feeling?
I'm good. I just took a sip of my water, so I'm just.
I want you to be as ready as you need to be.
This
I'm.
is the one that's going to get played everywhere.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
fine.
This is the one that is going to take you. Now, you did send me a couple of clips that we'll be putting in here.
Mm-hmm.
Is the band director going to be the first clip?
No, the band.
The other one is going to be the first clip. I want to order these properly so I don't jam you up.
Oh, hang on. Wait. The band director is the last one,
Okay.
and then
The OVI is the first one.
correct.
Okay. I want to set this up here. Normally I would set it up in the break, but I was doing other things and
It's okay.
wasn't able to do it. So I want to make sure that you're okay. Are you ready?
I am.
The award-winning Poundcake Sports Bar.
This is a Poundcake Sports Break.
In In the headlines today, they say there's no friends at the top, and this story may prove it to be true. Cavs operations manager was charged with an OVI over the weekend. The police footage showed a stumbling Kobe Altman as he attempted to perform a field sobriety test. You can look at that here.
Done. All right. Driver's license, registration, insurance.
How far in do I have to go?
And you could just show a little bit. I mean, he's stumbling.
I understand the test.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to work with you on. I was trying to get home.
I understand that. But, I mean, the reason I stopped you because you almost caused an accident, right?
I get that.
You were almost causing an accident. Oh, God. What?
Yeah, next time I'll put the numbers on there for you.
Okay, that's all right.
Kobe Altman, more like Kobe Haltman. Don't drive, you're drunk. That's what a friend would say. I'm just saying, he has no friends, and it just so happened that September 16th was Kobe's birthday. That's like the day before or day after his birthday. And I can assume he was probably out with some friends. He was having a couple drinks, and he thought he was good enough to drive. And they let him. By the way, shout out to my fellow Virgos. But yeah, they want to see you fall. I'm just saying, they want to see you fall. And I don't think if they ask you for tickets, put their asses up in Loudville, fake bitches.
Yeah.
Also, I get no pleasure in this next story. I saw a meme the other day saying that Clevelanders are just a different breed, and that is true. We live through every man's worst nightmare. Our Chubb snapped mid-action. Someone called Dr. Berglund. Our Cleveland Browns running back, Nick Chubb, peep the shirt, had his second knee injury of his career and hopefully his last. He is set to undergo surgery if he hasn't had it already. And I also heard a rumor that Kareem Hunt is in talks to take Nick's place. But this was a strategic hit from the Steelers, and this means war. I'm suggesting a new battle cry. They took our Chubb! The whole land hurts with you, Mr. Chubb, and we wish you a speedy recovery. And lastly, I got respect for this high school band director because he understands the number one rule in show business is that the show must go on. And he understood his assignment. Even while he was being profiled by police, he was like, bitch, y'all gonna hear this Flight of the Bumblebee. He was so invested in his art that he had to be tased in order to stop. We have a clip here.
Where does he get tased?
Oh, it's like towards the end. It's a long clip. Kids screaming.
Is it past that?
No, I think that's just a big
I
commotion.
was going to say the screaming is.
Yeah, although I felt it was unnecessary, I say you capitalize off this viral travesty. I got some comeback song suggestions for you that might get a fun reaction. How about some Zappin' Roger? What about maybe State of Shock? That's a classic. Last but certainly not least, have the entire arena dance while the band plays Electric Slide. That's how you make lemons into lemonade. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes this Poundcake Sports Break.
This is a Poundcake Sports Break.
Speaking of Zappin' Rogers, Poundcake's homage.
Imagine the band going ham on this.
Yeah.
Is it your face I see?
Oh, my computer screen.
Yeah. Pride of Dayton, Ohio. It's the late, great Roger Troutman there. A little a tribute from our own Cody Brown. So there you have it. The first award-winning Poundcake Sports Break.
Ugh, everything I hoped for.
Pretty good. Pretty,
Great if you knew what times
good.
those videos were supposed to be at. But other than that, very good.
And also that Kareem Hunt did get signed
Yes.
today back to the Cleveland Browns. But
I mean,
also,
how is he supposed to know
these,
that?
well,
Only the
these
biggest story of the
are,
day.
these are,
Well, I don't
these
think
are-
he was signed by the time I wrote the sports break. I'm just saying.
these are,
I try to do as up to date as possible.
right. These are at best minuscule notes on it. But all right, well, there you go. Did it feel different? Did you feel more learned?
Did it feel award worthy?
Did you feel award worthy? Did you feel
Yeah, I think it was
more to
pretty good.
prove, less to prove?
No, I mean, I feel like the fans voted because they were entertained, and I just wanted to give them a good show. I'm like the band director. You'll have to tase me in order to stop me.
Don't tase me, bro. All right. So, because if you had lost, it would have been, that would have been just one indignity after the next.
Yeah, but then, I don't know. It would be very sad. I was trying to think of something like the silver lining, but no, that would be a very bad loss.
Gotcha.
And again, I thought it was I thought it was going to be tomorrow when we would find out. So everyone was like, "Oh, you wore your Browns shirt." I was like, I knew I was doing the sports break today, regardless of what it would be on Thursday. But just so happened, there's a lot of Browns news, the sports break, and best sports talker.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I'm being told that the iHeartRadio app crashed right before Poundcake's award-winning sports break.
Your app totally sucks.
So even though the award-winning part is attached to the sports break, I don't know that the iHeartRadio app has won any similar awards. Alan, you contradicted yourself.
Impossible.
You said it's not the most important thing, but when your penis was hypothetically cut off, you were terrified. It was the most important.
You have an identity crisis.
But I'm not contradicting myself. I'm saying to a lot of people, it is not the most important thing. I would absolutely hate to live like that. Absolutely. To be like, yeah, I just don't, because if you don't use it, you lose it, physically and mentally. Once you're hitting 9, 10, a dozen years, you're not just going to wake up one day and go, I think I'm going to get back on the horse.
I think I'm ready.
It's time for Hoe Face 2.0. Al, I'm 36, and I haven't had sex in 7 years.
That's too long.
I wank, but I honestly don't care that much. It's easier than dealing with the crazy women on dating apps. Listen, I can understand why you would go down that road, but nothing can take the place of a live, lovely woman.
Warm body.
Nothing can take the place of that. That's why they're crazy. They know it's worth it. They know ultimately it's worth it, at least ideally.
And it might not be them. There's a chance.
Right.
Yes, also that.
Stripper Scott, kind enough to, I got to talk to him the other night at the Cox Out for a little bit. He's kind enough to let me know that he has offered to break Dougie's dry spell, and she has politely declined.
Politely?
I am 0% shocked at that. I'm sure there's all kinds of people who have, I'll put one in you.
See,
I don't think that's what she's looking for. Obviously, I can't speak for her.
I'd be
but
afraid that my stuff wouldn't work. Like,
What do you mean?
Like, how do I know I can still get like an orgasm or something like that?
Because you're still doing stuff on your own.
You don't know that Dougie's doing that. Maybe she just has no interest. Maybe
I don't know.
after a while, she's like, I don't have any cravings is not the right word.
10 years without
my
climaxing is
cravings is
insane.
I know, right?
It's one thing to not hook up
I've
with somebody.
sprung a leak. Oh, man, I'm a pervert.
Get a prostitute at some point. I would just get a prostitute.
Yeah, well, you can do that
someone
too.
Who's screened, they don't have anything. You don't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
And have safe sex. And then you're like, paid for it. And it was worth every penny.
Cause they're prostitute grandmas. If you could, they'll buy you an ice cream cone. Prostitute grandmas. But give them a 20 and they'll play with your bone. Prostitute grandmas. They're always sad cause they're almost dead. Prostitute grandmas. They're good in the kitchen, even better in bed.
All right, I got to take a break here. If you want to text for something, 35192, that iHeartRadio app. When it's working, it'll take your talkback messages, and we'll be back after these.